formulate my flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros like that.
Wanna party with me?
I am Furman Jackson Jr., your host located in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas metropolitan area, presenting the weekly podcast of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Please welcome Katrina, a highly accomplished business consultant, media mogul, author, and speaker. She served as the CEO and founder of WOAW Media Consulting Firm, LLC, as well as the program director at FMD Global TV. With 20 years of experience in business consulting, Katrina has hosted her successful television talk show, Women of Abundance Wealth, and has prominently featured in variety talk show and magazines. I want to welcome my very special guest this evening. This is our Wednesday night edition, of course. The title of this episode, Discovering Who You Are. And Katrina, thank you for taking time out your productive schedule. I hope you like the introduction, of course. It's all about making my guests feel welcome. To acknowledge their accomplishments, the things they are doing, and most importantly, I want to give you your roses as well, give you your flowers for the work that you're doing and continue on doing. And by the way, happy early Mother's Day, and also to all the mothers across the world, happy early Mother's Day. That's on our mothers. Katrina, welcome to Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast. So, hey, take us into your world.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It is really an honor to be here on your show. I'm excited about the stuff that you've been doing throughout the world. It is always good to know and see other people doing the same things that you are doing, and we're making an impact. And I appreciate you for having me on the show.
And I truly honor you and thank you for accepting the invitation. I know you have quite impressive resume, of course. You're doing great things around the world, impacting lives. This is what we're here for, right? Because even the Bible tells us that Christ said we are the light of the world. Yeah. So we have to be that light to whoever we come in contact with, that we show them it's a better way of living, a better way of lifestyle. So take us behind the scenes on who is Katrina.
Ooh, we're going to be here all night.
Hey,
Maybe
this is my show.
Days, though. Maybe a couple days. Who is Katrina? She is a lover of the Most High. She is someone who believes 100% that He is her father. He is her husband. He is her best friend. He is everything I need him to be when he needs me to be that. And she is one that will lay at his feet until he says move. That is ultimately who Katrina Marable Loco is.
And that's what's up. And also, I got some questions, of course. I want to go back to the original story of who you are, of course, and you broke it down, breaking the ice. But my first question is, how did your early life experience shape your expertise?
Oh my God. It shaped it a lot, because I remember trying to define what success was. And I think in the beginning, all of us think success is having the house, the cars, the money, and all that stuff. But I realized real quick that that was not success. I realized that success for me was doing something over and over again, even when it didn't look like it was going anywhere. So I remember hitting brick walls. I remember stumping my toe. I remember roofs falling on top of me until I finally figured out, hey, I can take my time and build this because Papa has already built it for me, and all I am is a vessel being used. So yes, everything that happened to me in my life has shaped me for where I'm going.
And that's awesome. Can you recall a specific moment or event that set you on the path to where you are today?
Yeah, I absolutely can. I remember my grandmother's living room when I was 9 years old. It's a very popular television show in those days. I'm 56 now. So it was a very popular television show in those days, but they didn't look like me. They didn't look like me. And I remember making the statement to my grandmother when she was trying to explain to a 9-year-old what was going on and why most of the people on television did not look like her. I remember telling her, well, when I own my own television network and magazine, I'm just going to put everybody on there, no matter what color they are, no matter if they're skinny, fat, it doesn't matter. And I remember her looking at me and said, and you will do that, honey, you will do that. And that's all I remember. And I remember that stayed with me. And I started creating a magazine out of construction paper and writing on it, because that's all I knew to do. So I was actually drawing my vision and didn't even realize it. So that moment in her living room when I was 9, it really changed my life.
And I know you mentioned the television shows back when you were growing up. We know we had before my time, of course, but we had a lot of great TV shows. We had replays. I remember shows like Good Times. I like the one that was so when they had James on there, James Evans,
Yeah.
the Cosby Show. You had a different world. You had a lot of great shows.
Mhm.
Sanford and Son, of course, but they had different messages within them shows. Like
Mhm.
with Bill Cosby, he represented
Mhm.
a parent household. The
Yeah.
doctor, the mother was the lawyer, but they kept their family together. And we don't see a lot of that no more. We don't see that
Mhm.
image. It's mostly single mother, single parent, and they glorify like it's normal, but it's not normal.
No, it's not normal.
What you want to say about that, Katrina?
It is not normal. Um, if you look at what television does, it actually trying to dictate to you what is normal. And this new generation, like those shows that you're talking about, I was already probably in my with some of them I was a late teen and then a young adult when those shows came out. They weren't prevalent when I was that young. So they're sending a message to tell you how they want you to view normal. And then that's not normal. And so what it does is it gives you a distorted image of what normal is, and it causes chaos, as we can see now in 2024, that that stuff stems from those things. And I know for our network, we trying to change the narrative and show the positive side. Everything ain't negative. Everything is not negative. There are good things in the world. There are good people in the world. There's people who have lifestyles and story styles that are actually successful and normal. And that's the stuff we desire to show.
And that's what it's all about. I think about the scripture when Solomon says that our gift should make room for
Mhm.
us
Mhm.
and bring for great men. It didn't say anything about color, nationality, you
Mhm.
name it. It says your gift. Everyone has a gift. God gave everyone a gift, but it's up to us to utilize those gifts, utilize
Yeah.
those talent that He has blessed us with. Because remember, He gave the parable of the talent. One hit a talent, you cast them out. So
Yeah.
whatever talent that God gives you, whatever gift God placed within you, utilize that gift, and that gift is gonna bring you for great men. And it doesn't no matter what background you came from,
Mhm.
family member, your gift. And I like that Katrina
Yeah.
says your gift
Yes.
shall make room for you. What you want to say about that?
Ooh, that is absolutely true. And I will even go a little further and say it won't only make room for you, but it will make room for others. I have utilized probably not even 100% of my gifts. I don't think any of us walk in that, but my gifts definitely have made room for me and put me in rooms that I never thought that I would be in. And then here recently, even more gifts beginning to manifest that I didn't even know that I have, and still placing me in rooms that I never thought that I would be in. So our gifts definitely make room because He's our Papa, and He put those gifts in us for a certain purpose and a season. And sometimes you don't know that they're there until He has need of it. Like I just told you, some gifts are coming up that I didn't even know that was there. Well, He didn't need it before that, but He
Right.
needs it now. And so it does open doors for you. And that's why the gift and the calling and skill set, all of that stuff is very important. And you really understand who you are and how to function and how to maintain those things.
Most definitely. Before going to forget, big shout out to Carl Roberts in the comment section. He said, God is good from Rise and Elevate here in the DFW, motivational speaker, life coach. Big shout out to Carl in the comment section. I always want to acknowledge the people that's in the comment section that is watching us, no matter where you're watching us at. I'm actually this, Katrina. This is pretty pop came to mind. Dreaming again. At one time,
Mhm.
individuals stop dreaming. When I say stop dreaming, they allow the circumstances, they allow outside influences, they allow all types of stuff stop them from dreaming. Remember, we was growing up, we
Mhm.
had these great imagination. Imaginations come from God. God gave us imagination.
Yeah.
But our imaginations, we didn't have no, or we didn't have I can't in our
Mhm.
imaginations. But then as we got older, we allow circumstances, with a lot of negative influence to stop us from dreaming, where people start not believing in their dream anymore. They stop believing. They believe, well, what they're saying is true, what they're saying is right. But our individuals start to dream again, Katrina. Ever since we had the pandemic a
Mhm.
few years back, everything shut down. A lot of people lost a lot of things. But then the entrepreneurship birthday, we know famine was going on for a long time. We know we had famine back
Yeah.
in Joseph days. And we kind of went through one
Yeah.
with the pandemic because everything shut down. But we were still blessed and highly favored, of course. But some individuals didn't bounce back from the pandemic. A lot of people lost a lot of things, lots of jobs, but people start getting out and creating their own business,
Yeah.
creating their own income. So the individuals start dreaming again when that happened, or when did they start dreaming again? 'Cause at one point, people stopped dreaming, but then they start back dreaming again, going after the possibilities.
Well, I know for me and others that I know personally, people don't start dreaming again until they're forced to pull their dream out of their hat. Like for me, there was just pandemic was bad for everybody. Of course, what I do, it required contact. I have several businesses and everything that I did required contact. So I lost a lot of money, lost a lot of time, and I could have stressed out. And at some point I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But I remembered whose I was. And I remember standing in the mirror and saying, I am a daughter of the king. And I know what my papa said. If he gave me the vision, there's no pandemic, no demon, devil, imp in hell that can stop it. I just have to figure out what he's doing in this season and the strategy that he's going to give me in this season. So I had to be really stuck into my core to say, hey, I have to shift. This is my dream. I have to shift. I almost gave up. A lot of people did give up. But people don't start dreaming again until they've shaken to their core. And it could be just a small thing to them or it could be a large thing. But when people are shaken and when they have no way out, the only thing that they have inside of them is the gift. And those gifts will definitely begin to make room. And you don't have no choice but to remember the dreams and the visions and what he's called you to do. And then you will move forward.
Yeah, 'cause I remember I shared on the show a while back about Moses, and when God spoke to Moses, Moses made up all kind of excuses. He was a stutter. He took Aaron along, and all of this. But then God asked Moses, "What do you have in your hand?"
Yeah.
And Moses said, "A rod." And God told him to use that rod. So whatever your rod is, ladies and gentlemen, use it.
Yeah.
We all have a rod. Your
Hmm.
ride is different from my ride, So whatever your ride is, ladies and gentlemen, that's listening to us tonight on our airways, utilize that rod that God's giving you. He's gonna work the miracles.
Yes.
It just all we have to do be what in Isaiah 119, be willing and obedient.
Yes.
That's all we have to do. And I think we have a question to comment session. Big shout out to Carl Rob. You have a question. He said, "How do one figure out what their gift is?" Katrina, you want to answer that?
Yes. Carl, that is a good question. And there's several things, but the main one I would say is that one thing that you did as a kid before you knew who you were. That one thing that followed you your whole life, because there's things inside of you that has followed you your whole life. Like speaking and writing has followed me my whole life. And yes, it's a gift in the natural, but I didn't realize it was a spiritual gift as well. So that one thing that you would do anytime, all the time, even without knowing it until people tell you, you're doing it again, Carl, that thing is your gift. Now you have many gifts, but you have that primary thing that will really, really speak to you, that one thing.
Yeah, and I did because, like you said, it's that one thing that
Mhm.
where it's second nature to you. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
just automatically just start
you're
doing it.
doing it.
But some gifts you have to cultivate through
Yes,
time.
all of them you
So
do. Yeah,
right,
you
but that
do.
main one you have to cultivate it because with me, I never know I would end up in the world of media, which I'm doing
Mhm.
now, with podcasting, promoting, and marketing. Because back at home, 'cause
Mhm.
originally I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and
Okay.
I've been living here going on 4 years. But back at my hometown, we used to get together. We used to do outreach events. We used to do
Yeah.
concerts, all that other stuff. We was with marketing, getting the word out, street ministry, all other stuff. So ministry was always in my path. And then I stumbled upon marketing, media, all the other stuff. And I
Hmm.
remember the bishop back in home, Bishop Levy Knox, a Living Word Christian Center, awesome man of God. He teaches on the kingdom. And he
Hmm.
told me that was my gifts is media marketing. And of course I'm doing it today, but it's always layers to perfect
Yes.
the media market because there's so much stuff going on with technology, from camera angles, it's how you talk. That's another thing.
Hmm.
Your
Yeah.
program, your presentation, but it's a great learning thing that I'm learning,
It
and I
is.
learn as I go.
Yes. Yes. That's true.
Okay, he said, Carl said, thank you. You guys are awesome. Love this show. Thank you, Carl, as well. Thank you
Thanks,
for
Carl.
support. Give a Carl. He's a motivational speaker. He's a personal trainer, life coach. He's in the DFW. He's out in the Fort Worth area. So if you're watching right now, follow Carl Roberts right now on his social media platform. Also, he's a podcast as well. He has his own podcast. Carl, if you're still there, go ahead and plug your information in, my brother, in the comment section. Let everybody see it. It's all about supporting each other and one another. Before we go any further, Katrina, we're going to take a quick
Mhm.
commercial break and we're going to jump right back into our Q&A conversation.
All right.
The songs that help me get motivated in my workout is definitely a lot of Megan Thee Stallion songs. Of course, I work out to Freak Nasty. The beat is just too fire. I'm really talking that talk, and it allows me to get on the Stairmaster and really walk that walk. So I really highly suggest if Freak Nasty is not on your gym playlist, you go add it right now. The hotties that know me wouldn't be surprised that, like, ain't it fun? My Paramore is on my workout playlist. Cause I just feel like I need to get in here and have the time of my life. I'm like jumping around the gym, and I'm pretty sure people are like, whatever pre-workout she have, I want it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on the Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast. I am your host, Furman Jackson Jr., along with my special guest, media mogul, television host, director, you name it. But most important, media mogul, Katrina. Thank you once again. Take time of your productive schedule to be here. Of course, I know you're doing a lot of great things, but it was an honor that you took time out of your productive schedule to come on the show tonight as we talk about the goodness of the Most High,
Yeah.
positivity, uplifting, because we know people need to be uplifted. And I
Mhm.
know with just the television station, what shows on the station that we can expect when watching your programs?
Okay. Last year, our network we've been in existence since 2015. From 2015 to 2023, we were in existence. I had to make a hard decision to pull it off Roku last year, but we're in launching it back onto Roku. But right now, we've been on YouTube while we're in production for going back on Roku. But they can watch talk shows. We have a couple of documentaries that we produce that'll go on there, a couple of short films, couple of skits, dramas, plays, cooking shows. We have a design show. We have health shows. All of that stuff will be on our network. And the individuals that are teaching those shows or that hosting those shows, they've been experts in their field. We have preaching shows, just anything you need, and it's all safe and clean. We say no cussing, no bashing people, none of that stuff. We want all positive, all uplifting. So, yeah.
Man, most that hey, that's what it's all about: uplifting and inspiring and motivating each other and everyone we come in contact with. But I also want to thank Carl right now for putting his information in the comment section. So if while you're watching us right now, go ahead, follow Carl, get in contact with him. Like I said, he's a personal trainer, he's a life coach, he's a mentor, he's a podcaster himself. So go ahead and support what he's doing also in the community. So I appreciate your call. Also, awesome brother with a great spirit. So let's talk about mentoring. Who was your influence, Katrina? Was family
Mhm.
member? You had a mentor. Who was your influences to keep you on this path of success?
A brick wall was it? A brick wall was at first. Yeah, my grandmother was, her and my mother were my greatest influence. They were really key in my life. I had some very serious learning disabilities growing up, and both of my parents and my grandparents were praying people, and they were like, no, we're just simply not going to receive that. And I thank God that they did not receive it because they worked with me. My sister, one of my sisters who's passed on, and my cousin, they tutored me after school. They talked to me. They helped me with speech. There was just a lot of things that they did. So when I say I have a lot of mentors, I really have a lot of mentors. And even still to this day, I always have mentors and coaches and people who are smarter than me, people who are way past where I'm at, because that's what needed. You cannot go anywhere in this world without mentors. That is so, and I'm not talking about mentors that'll just pat you on the back. I'm talking about mentors that'll kick you in the tail too.
Right, and
When
that's what we
you,
need.
yes,
And we know because what Proverbs talk about, Proverbs talks about correction. And I
yes,
know it mentioned in Proverbs that when you correct someone, they will love you for that. You know, they may not understand it, but they will come back later and say, I appreciate you what you did. I appreciate you telling me true because in the multitudes of counsel, there's safety,
hmm,
right? So we need
yes,
that counsel, we need that safety. And learning from other people experience because some paths of
yes.
life, Katrina, that we don't have to go down. We
No,
learn from other individual experience. What you want to say about that?
yeah, and I am definitely for that. I tell people around me, I don't want to fall. So please tell me if I get mad at you, let me get mad, but then I'll be back because I'll see the cliff that I could have fell off of. But yes, you need to. It is very important. I can't stress this enough. It is very important for us not to get angry or get mad at mentors or people who've been there and they know what's there already that is trying to tell us not to go that direction. It's very important that we do that. And we need those people. We really do need those people. And if you don't have those people around you, then you're doing yourself an injustice. Because I tell myself, even in ministry, I'm a minister, an ordained minister. I always have people around me, and I mean that hear his voice as well. And if I need to call them, or they'll call me and say, "Hey, hey, 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 this is what I heard in prayer," and they'll call me on the carpet. We need those types of people, or they'll encourage me, or they'll call and say, "Hey, I feel like you're feeling down today," or keep going. A good word that they'll give me. So it is very key. So if you keep pushing mentors and stuff away, you'll be on an island by yourself, and you will drown. Yes.
Right. Most definitely. I remember years ago when I was back at home, I remember this man had a conversation with his son. He told his son, I'm not a grown man, I'm a growing man. He was telling his son, I'm constantly evolving. I'm not grown, I'm growing. Because we always gonna grow. We're supposed to grow. Some of us don't. Some of us stop evolving at a certain age. But our purpose in life is to grow, to evolve,
Hmm.
to get better, to get better. From what the scripture tells us from glory to glory to glory. We should be on the path of increase, not we
Always.
decrease when we humble ourselves, but we should be on the path of increasing and not decreasing when it comes to our value. Increase. Oh,
Yes.
that's an awesome word tonight. Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Increase your value, ladies and gentlemen. Increase
Yes.
your value. Don't discard, don't disgrace your value, but increase your value.
Yes.
That was an on time word. That was a word for
Yes.
somebody tonight.
Yes.
So
Amen.
increase your value. And then my other question I have too, let me put it up, of course. We talk about mentoring. So with midst of your mentoring, how did that help with the journey? If someone who never had a mentor, how can a mentor, in your honest opinion, can help steer your journey of life in the right direction? Because mentors are that guide. They are
Mhm.
that overseer. They the ones who help you. Not saying they don't. You're not being a a cult follower, but they're
Right.
giving you advice like, hey, they help you pursue your things, but also they impart to you, hey, this is what you should how you should do. This how you, especially it's all about successful, and you're
Mhm.
in that path of where they already at. So how did that help you with your journey, with mentoring in your own personal opinion?
It helped me with my journey good because all you do is when you have a mentor, as you're talking to them, what you're trying to do, they're seeing things that you don't see. Sometimes when we're in a situation or when we're trying to accomplish something, we don't see those little small details, but they do. I tell everybody, you show up, just talk. When I'm mentoring people, I'm like, just go ahead, talk. I want you to talk because I'm trying to peel out the keys inside you that's needed to help you get on the right direction. So it helped me because I just showed up and just talked. And the one thing I will say is I had a mentor tell me to be just quite transparent and honest with them because they can't see if you're trying to hide stuff or cover up something or don't want them to know this. And sometimes we can do that, not because there's anything wrong, but because we've been hurt so much and wounded so much in the world that we just share little bits of our life. But when you're talking about mentorship and needing a mentor, needing people in authority over you, you really have to be open and honest, which it is really important that you find someone that can be trusted, so that you can be open and honest and they can help you with those things. Even if it's saying, this is a good business idea, it's a good concept, it's a good product or service, but there's not a market for it right now. Or, no, I think you would be better at this than better at this, better at that. And so it's just a matter of saying those things and allowing them to say that to you. So mentor really helped me because I'm telling you, I would have went my own way, and or I would have stayed in stagnated places where I should not have stayed if my mentor would have said, absolutely not, you're not doing that.
Most definitely. And also big shout out to, I don't want to butcher your name, but I'm gonna say K. Big shout out to K. Increase your value. That's on the YouTube side. I want to butcher your name. I'm just say K, of course.
Yeah.
Big okay, don't okay. Dr. Tony said blessings. Big shout out to Dr. Tony that's watching us on Facebook right now this evening. I want to get no one who's watching us. Carl said, "What if your mentors? If you're mentoring someone and they are always on the defense?" What you say about that, Katrina?
Then you probably need to let them fire you or you let them go. Because if they're on the defense, they're not ready. They're not ready to, they're ready to be successful, but they're not willing to take what it needs to take to get there. And if someone's on the defense, it's best that you just let them go. Or you could have let them, you could tell them that because they may not even know that that's what they're doing. And if they recognize it and change, then that's different. But if it's a continual thing, always, it's best just to cut it off because I'm telling you, I had to learn that early in my business because if you do not cut off those who are always on the the fence with your mentorship or whatever, it's not going to turn out good for you.
Well, matter of fact, Christ talked about that. He was talking about you go to them, first of all, you go to them alone, and then you
Yeah,
address it. If they don't receive it, what you do, you take someone else along who
yeah,
sees the same thing they're doing. And if they still
yeah,
don't receive it, you bring it to the congregation, the church, whatever,
yeah,
and they still don't receive it, you cut them off
yeah.
because there's no solution there. It's just like
No.
on the job. If okay, it's three things they tell you on the job. They give you a verbal, a
Mm-hmm.
written one, and then it is going to be suspension or termination. But a lot of times they don't deal with toleration. They can have a conversation. Hey, we see you doing this. We're giving you a
Mm-hmm.
verbal. Now you're doing the same thing again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
something's not right. Either you're
No.
not comprehending or what's going on. So what the best that they do? Well, you know what? It's best that we just go ahead and let you
Hard
go
way.
and
Yes.
part ways. Maybe you'll find someone else, or say, hey, maybe I'm not. Another thing too, maybe you're not the one for them. Say, hey, you need to
Right.
find
That's true.
someone who's right for. I'm just not the one for you.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you find someone who's right for you. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. You do have to, because all mentors is not for you, and you're not for all mentors. You really have to find, and you'll know, you will know, because I know when I look for my mentors, or really, honestly, God just placed them in my life. I hadn't had to go out and look, but I knew immediately that they were called to mentor me, and then I know immediately when someone I'm supposed to mentor. I've had to tell people, no, I don't think this is going to work, but you have to learn those things as you grow.
Yeah, you have to, because it's
Yeah.
it's not a bad point. It's just like I'm not the one for you.
Mm-hmm.
You will find someone who will be. A lot of times that happens too. It may not work out with you, but when they go off somewhere else, they blossom like never before.
Yes, yes. And we have to watch that too because it is a matter of being compatible. It has nothing to do with everybody's techniques or their lack of success. It's just that that was not for you.
Right, most definitely. We're gonna take another quick commercial break, and then we're gonna jump right back into our Q&A conversation after this commercial break.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, I open my Bible. Bible showed me how to walk in the spirit. Spirit of God, hell with decision. Shit that leads me straight to the prison. Fruit of the spirit of heaven with water. Plant won't grow with diamond water. Sunday sprinkles just not on the water. Words of Christ is water my soul. It fills my bowl, it overflow. To these souls that dry and cold. So lost without you, don't know where to go. Here I am, available store. Renewing my mind, take out the time. Study alone, put down the phone. Don't need distraction, no drama, no problem. All these things are given the phone. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah, I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah. Early mornings before do hit the ground. Seeking your face, you show me around. Show me the place in the spiritual world. Placing more precious than diamonds and pearl. Value one more than the silver and gold. I follow your spirit wherever you go. I can't go a day without seeking you. Directions, all that's that come from you. You order my steps, green light my ways. I know it's okay to do it that way. Peace about it, I know it's okay to do it your way. It's always safe. Fruit of the spirit will grow on my tree. Can't walk in flesh and curse my tree. Love and goodness, meek and tender kindness that will come from me. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Daily I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We're back here on the Walking This Way Impact West podcast. This is our Wednesday night edition. Big shout out to King David out of my hometown of Mobile, Alabama. Walking in Spirit, that's the name of his new joint, new video, of course. Of course, here on the show, we're doing major things. We're doing music videos, we're doing commercials. So if you have a commercial, you have a music video you want to showcase on the platform, DM me, get with me, of course. It's all about taking this brand walking his way to the next level with interviews, Q&A, of course. We have Financial Wisdom with Shiloh, which is done every 2 weeks. Shiloh will be back here next Wednesday night with her financial tips as well. So it's doing major things here on the platform here, of course. Of course, Katrina, thank you for taking time out your productive schedule here on the show. So let me ask you, what's going on? What's the next event that's going on? How can we be a part of what's going on? How can we support what you got going on and all the other great stuff?
Okay, so what we have going on now is we have adopted a program in Africa, in Cameroon. It's called Sea Life. And Sea Life is a business development center in Cameroon, Africa. We have seen 350 students come through there, and they have started their businesses. It's helping people in Cameroon start their businesses, but it's also going all over the continent of Africa. So if anybody is interested in learning about Sea Life, how we can be a blessing in Africa and help build those communities over there through business education, through financial education, I mean, it is blooming over there. I am excited to be on the board of Sea Life. I'm excited to be one of the founding partners of this new venture that they're creating and one of the instructors at their business school. So it's Sea Life. You probably seen me post about it if you follow me. If not, then follow me and you'll see it. Sea Life, which means Christian life. It's teaching people how to have kingdom businesses. Everything we teach is Bible based, based on scripture, and just really taking it to a whole other level. Sea Life.
And that's what's up right there. Also for going in for a big shout out to my cousin out of St. Louis, Keisha. Of course, she's an entrepreneur. She's a motivational speaker. She's a podcaster as well. She's doing a lot of great things in St. Louis. So big shout out to my cousin. She's in the comment section tonight. I'm proud of her too. Keep up the great work. Of course, like I said, we always want to acknowledge people that's doing great things. Like my guest, of course, is doing a lot of great things. Let me ask you, as the life of entrepreneur, what time do you start your day? Because I know entrepreneurs start their days real early. I don't know. I started mine because I'm working. Well, I ain't saying I'm working. I'm disciplining myself because I start getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning, hit the gym, and I say, you know what? Because I told myself, you know what? The way things going, I have to get my day started before the sun set. I remember somebody said this years ago. If you wake up and the sun is already out, you late. That's if you all about greatness. But I wake up at 3, since I'm off, I wake up at 3 a.m., hit the gym, which I did that this morning. I say, you know what? I'm proud of myself because I did that.
Yeah.
But what time do you start your day? Because we know time is an essence, and we know entrepreneurs, business people value their time.
Sometimes I start the day because it never ended. But anyway, but if I go home and I get some good sleep, usually about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm up praying. I'm up praying and I'm seeking because I am that believer that if you tell me don't go anywhere, if Papa says you're not leaving today, I'm not going to leave because he's going to save me from something or he may be trying to download something, whatever the case may do. But between 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm up. I'm fully awake. I'm not the type that needs a lot of sleep. And it's been like that since I was a little girl. I've never needed a lot of sleep. And my mind, that time of the morning, needs to be nurtured by our Papa. And so I'm up, I'm praying, I'm doing my Bible studies, I'm meditating, I'm getting some exercise in right there. And that's that's usually it. By 7, at least by 7, I'm out of the house. I'm out of the house. I can't, I'm an extrovert, so I really can't be confined to those areas.
Because, it's always stuff to be done. Like I said, I know I'm doing the
It
same thing in the morning. I'm getting up at 3 in the morning. I'm going to hit
is.
the gym and get my day started. We should always command our days
Yes.
because you got to think about it. The Bible said that he gave us dominion. He gave us
Yes.
rule, governor. That's what dominion mean.
Yes.
Exercise your dominion, ladies and gentlemen. God gave you dominion.
Yes.
Exercise that dominion as well. My cousin said in the comments, she said she's an extrovert too.
Yes. Yes. Girl, I know.
But hey, it's you got to command your day. Like even Deion Sanders said the same. I'm reading his book right now, and he said some what you're just saying is really commanding your day. If you don't command your day, it will control you.
Yes. It will. It will.
But it's all about that discipline. And that a lot of time we think of the disciple was the disciples discipline. We have to discipline this in this body. We have to discipline this flesh. Yes, the flesh cries out. Yes, the
Yes.
flesh gets weak. Yes, the flesh get weary. Yes, the flesh get, but
Mhm. Yes.
we have to drown it out.
Yes, we do.
That's why he said the spirit is willing
But
and
the
the
flesh
flesh is
is
weak. What you
weak.
want to say about that, Katrina?
That is so true because there's times like I told you I'm 56 years old. So sometimes I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes I feel like I'm still 20, but then sometimes I feel 56. And so I really have to speak to myself. I tell my body, you don't own me, I own you. And you're a vessel.
That's it.
You are the vehicle for the Holy Spirit to move around on the earth to do mighty exploits. So get up and let's go. That's what I have to do sometimes.
Yeah, when we just talking about increase your value, you have to value
Yeah,
yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You have to love yourself. You have
eat
to learn how
right.
to love yourself because
Yeah.
we in the world, we allow society to dictate who
Mhm.
we are, we allow society to dictate what we're supposed to believe and everything else. If you tell someone, if you say, I believe in myself and I love myself, oh, you're a narcissist, you this and all this other stuff. No, but you're supposed to love yourself. Even the scriptures tell us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you're not loving yourself, how can you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself?
You can't. I wrote a book and it's on Amazon. It's called Who Stole My Benefits? And it's go get back what was stolen. And that's what the book talk about. It's like everything about our life has been orchestrated. And until you break out of that box, that cycle, that world system, you're going to be enslaved continually. Your benefits were stolen. Some of us give our benefits away. You have to understand what you're under. You really have to look at it from spiritual eyes, because it's not going to just tap us on the back and say, okay, we're just going to let you walk in. No, it's trying to kill us and take us out. Really, it is. And so it's trying to dictate to us where we go, what we do, what we eat, how we sleep, how we view ourselves, how we even view God. I mean, come on now, you have to really be aware. And that goes back to getting plenty of rest, but getting up in the morning, early in the morning, commanding your mornings before you leave that door, because there's something on the other side of that door waiting to devour you.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm going to ask you another question too. Let me ask you this. Could you share a particular moment that you consider a turning point in your life? Could have been a childhood memory.
Yes, I do. I do remember a turning point in my life. And I remember there was this little boy that had died, and he had autism. I can't even remember what it is. I still remember his name, but I won't say it here. But he was a little boy, and I remember that was my first thought, like, kids die? Like, he's not even old. And so the moment that I knew that the little boy died, he lived up the hill, we call it up the hill, and he was Caucasian, and there was something wrong with him, but he died. And I remember thinking, well, if he could die, I could die. And so I told myself that day that I was going to have fun and enjoy life and live life, because I didn't know if I could die at any moment. So that was a turning point for me that really made me see things at a young age. And trust me, I had fun and lived my life, but I also had to come back to a loving father.
Yes, most definitely. And were there challenges or setbacks that in hindsight played a critical role in your personal development?
Yeah, absolutely.
And next question is, what activities or hobbies bring the most joy and fulfillment outside of your professional life?
Well, I love to explore parks and gardens and art. You will see me walking in a garden and just sitting there for hours. I mean, I love those things. Those are the things that bring me peace and serenity, and they kind of calm me and bring me back into alignment. But that's where, somewhere where water is at, those are my go-to places. Those are my go-to things. They've always been that for me as a child. And I don't know why, but that has always, and you'll hear me say that I'm in the garden with Papa, or I'm looking at art with Papa, or something like that. That's where you will definitely find me.
And also, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back and discover who you are with Katrina.
We gripping it with two hands. Back touchdown, you know you gotta do that. Bad man, ooh yeah, she love it when I do that. Pull her hair with rumble from the back, grip her with two hands. Spinning for a 2-piece, well I meant to say 2 bands. Everybody be the man, but I already knew that.
Like a Corleone, bringing that pressure to all of the opposite. Kill you see it, a block Smith on the block with a Glock hanging out the bed. Got a face and I swear I'm gon' make them feel it. Out the top of the drop when I let off the tip. Wanna live like it's it, be a part of the beat. Wanna come like it's it, better change your attention. In that order, I'm a chief that I mentioned. On in your 40 and see how you get. Beat up off disrespect to them. Wisdom gon' come when you see what is written. Under the sand, gotta see what been hidden. Ain't got no money but flooded a pendant. Coming a stripper, can't live in a prison. Ain't cut like this, it ain't even be. Damn.
Spinning for a 2-piece, well I meant to say 2 bands. I just bought a 2-piece, I'm cooking it in 2 pans. We gripping it with two hands. Back touchdown, and you know you wanna do that. Bad man, ooh yeah, she love it when I do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on the Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast. Of course, I have t-shirts and merchandise available. You go to my website, it flashes across the screen. Have men and women tees available. Of course, if you want to support the podcast, buy a t-shirt. It's available on my website, of course, at walkingthiswayimpactvoice.com. Go ahead and purchase your t-shirt, support the podcast, support the movement, and all the other great stuff. So I'm back here with my guest, media mogul, Katrina, of course, and now we're talking about discovering who you are. And of course, Katrina, we're talking about a lot of great stuff. So I'm gonna ask you this: what words of advice, what sounds of wisdom that you want to give an individual who are listening to us tonight?
If I could tell anybody anything, it would be stop listening to everyone and begin just to capture the heart of the Father. I cannot say that enough. Even if it's your own parent, even if it's your children, your spouse, whatever, just stop. Just really connect to the heart of the Father for yourself. He is our creator. He is the manufacturer that created you. So if there's a problem or if you want to know something, really connect to him first. Just connect. That is the ultimate.
That's it. And my next question is: how do you balance your work life with your personal interest and passion?
Now I tell people that's kind of hard because I believe that even with your work and your personal life, your passions cross each other. You bring it into I write for work, but then I also write in my personal life. But there are times where I feel the Holy Spirit is like, put all that down and just come rest or just go have fun. Just go sit at the ocean, go sit at the river, whatever the case may be. So really just being led of the Spirit helps to determine what you should be doing when it's time to shut down or when it's time to ramp up. That's what I base it on. There's really no outline or no what should I say routine that I do to balance it all out because the gifts and the calling are operating in my personal life just as well as in my professional life. It's not like I can turn it on and off like that, but he gives me rest when I need rest and he tells me to move on when it's time to move on or just be still.
Yeah, because when you on this path, when you're on this journey and this path, you are okay. You constantly building. You have people that say you got some people who just living for the weekend. You got those who are looking at building for the next generation. So when you're building for the next generation, you don't you. It's all about I'm sacrificing the temporary pleasures for long-term success.
Yeah.
Those who want to hang out every weekend or do this and do that are the ones who don't have no direction, no vision. Remember what the scripture said: without a vision, the people perish. And when you got a vision, you're constantly working. Okay, I'm talking about Noah. When Noah was building the ark, what they did, they laughed at Noah. Oh, it ain't gonna rain, it ain't rain all this time. But he kept on building. And so we got some Noahs out there this evening. I don't know what it's going to, but we got some Noahs out there. If you're that Noah that's listening tonight, keep building. Yeah, they may be laughing at you, they may be mocking you and telling you don't take all that. Keep building your art.
Yes.
Keep building your art. Yeah, they gonna laugh at you. Yeah, they gonna say don't take all that, but keep building your art. Nehemiah, for example, when Nehemiah went back to build a wall, they tried to distract Nehemiah. What Nehemiah said, I'm doing a good work. Why should come down for you? You gotta tell those individuals tonight, I'm not coming down for you because I'm doing a good work.
Yes. Amen.
And it's gonna pay off because you're gonna enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
Out of your abundance.
Yes. Absolutely.
So keep building. Yeah, they may be laughing at you. They may be saying don't take all that, but they didn't stop Noah. Noah was obedient, right? He kept on building, and distractions gonna come. They try to do that same thing with Christ as well. Remember, he was doing that case, say, "Hey, your mother and your want to see you." Those who do the will. When you're doing a good work, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have individuals come distract you, and it's gonna be the closest ones that's to you. It's not the strangers, ladies and gentlemen. It's always gonna be people that's close to you. Why? Because it's gonna be an attachment there. It's the emotional. Oh, thank you. It's an emotional bond tie there. That's
Yeah,
why they always use individuals close to you.
yeah.
Please, what say about that, Katrina?
That is absolutely true because you will hear the noise talkers, you will hear everything, but you got to understand they don't see the vision. We think so many times that uh, everybody should know what we're doing or we're building, so they should know. No, everybody doesn't know what you're doing because it's only God who gave you the blueprint. He didn't give it to you and then go in there and wake your cousins, your friends, and everybody up and say, "Hey, this is what I gave Katrina. This is what I gave Furman. This is what I gave." Not, he didn't do that. So you have to understand that you have the vision, you carry the vision, the assignment is for you, not for them, and you have to keep going no matter what. Yeah, you're gonna look like an idiot at times. You really are. I've been there, done that. There's so many things that could happen to you when you're building, and it probably happened to some of you now, like he said. But keep going because in the end, it's good success because if it's a vision from the Most High, it will be accomplished. Like it will be accomplished. There's no, you don't even have to second guess it. It's going to be accomplished. Now, what it looks like, we may not know until we get to that point, but keep going. Do not listen to people. Move past the people's opinions, move past their faces, move past everything, move past everything. You got to be very, very focused. It's almost like if somebody throw a bullet at you, it's almost like you got to know when to dodge it, know when to duck it.
That's
So
it.
just be focused, yeah.
That's
Mhm.
it. Keep building. Keep
Keep
perfecting your
building.
craft. Keep
Yeah.
studying your craft. If you're working a 9 to 5, and I'm going to share this
Hmm.
too with the audience during your break or in between your breaks. All I'm telling you tonight, keep perfecting your craft.
Yeah.
Yes, you're working at 9 to 5 right now, but in the midst of that, still work on your craft. Still perfect your craft. Whatever that craft is, you
Hmm.
still work in between. Just because you're working at 9 to 5 right now, that does not stop the purpose and the destiny that God has for you.
Right.
So I just see the glimpse of that. Just keep working through that,
Hmm.
ladies and gentlemen. Whatever it is, take that book with you to work.
Yeah.
Instead of not doing nothing during your break, take that book with you. Take your notebook with you. Take your highlighter
Hmm.
with you. Whatever you need to do to keep your dream alive, to
Yeah.
keep you excited. That's gonna keep you excited. Setting
Yeah.
your goals, your weekly goals, your monthly goals, your yearly goals, whatever. You got to get excited about your life, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to
Yeah.
make up your mind that I'm gonna be excited. Just because the world is miserable, remember what the scripture tells us: we're in the world, but we're not of the world.
Yeah.
We're
Amen.
aliens passing through, right? So always keep that in mind. And let me pull up some more questions as well. Well, hey, Katrina, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, you did a good job of it. I've always been told don't go behind nobody's fire. So you doing a good
But
job.
yeah, but I said just keep working. Have fun. Whatever you, like I said, if you're working at 9 to 5, take
Hmm.
whatever books you got that's containing to your purpose, whatever it is. Work on it while you in that 9 to 5. I mean, still be respectful of their time. I'm not saying
Yeah.
don't do what you want to do on people's time clock, but
Right.
in between times, always keep that going. All right.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm gonna ask you too, Katrina, is can you share a specific way in which you aim to positively impact the lives of others?
Yeah. Um, I aim to do that by educating people with awareness, helping them and accompanying them on how to awaken who they truly are. It's like no one can do anything until they really 100% know who they are and function in that. So what I plan to do is continually educating through my writing, through our shows on the network, all of those things. Those are tools that we're using to make people aware that they are somebody and that they are just as chosen as called as people they probably are putting on a pedestal. When you look in the mirror every morning, you got to tell yourself that you are the one. I am the chosen. I am the one. You have to tell yourself that, because guess what? There's something you can do that I can't do, and I may need what you can do. And it doesn't matter if you think someone is more successful than you, someone have more knowledge of you, but someone don't have the knowledge you have. And so I just really want people to be aware that there's no difference between us and anybody else. We all come from one source. We all got the same opportunities. We just have to connect with people who could help us get to the opportunities. But I would say that is really one thing that my heart is to make people aware of who they truly are and what they possess on the inside of them and how to function in that completely.
Oh man, most definitely. And my last one is for you as well. How do you align your daily actions with the long-term legacy you hope to leave behind?
I talk to I talk to Papa a lot. I talk to him a lot, but I also do little things. Like if I know that I want a client, a certain type of client, and I'm not ready for that client yet because I don't have something in place, but I still go around those type of clients that I want, and I learn from them, and I connect with other people who could help me get to that. So I don't just sit there and plan and don't do anything. I put feet to it. I put feet to it, and I pray and I meditate and I ask for resources and direction. And the number one thing is I'm constantly asking him to empty everything out of me that I don't need, that would be hindering me, that will hinder others. That is the key thing. You always have to do heart checkups every step of the day. Check your own personal motive, because we're human. We're like, oh, I want this, I want that. But do you really need that? And is that what he's really wanting you to do? So check your motive. Let him check your heart daily. Because when you're building and when you're successful, the enemy will come at you because there's a lot of things that could just snatch you in the arena of business. And so you really have to make sure that your heart is connected to the heart that created you.
Most definitely, and that is right. But I know we're about to ready to get off this thing. I'm respectful of your time, Katrina. One more time, Katrina, go ahead and plug in all your social media information. How can they get in contact with you? How can we support you in the work that you are doing?
Okay. So on YouTube, you can go follow us on FMD Global TV. We're building that platform. We're waiting on our Roku platform to go back up. Like I said, we had been on Roku for a few years and gained numbers, but had to prune the network and revamp. So that's what we've been doing. But we are just short days, weeks away from relaunch, and we're excited about that. But in the meantime, you can go over there, FMD Global TV. And FMD Global, I have to say this, that stands for my grandmother, the one that I told you that told me, well, you will. And her name was Fannie Mae Dixon. And
Okay.
so that's who the television network is named after, because she's really the influence behind the television network. And you can follow me, Katrina Marable Loco on some of them, but you can follow me on IG and on Facebook as well.
And also, Katrina, I thank you. I give you your flowers. Keep doing up the great work. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. We're about to ready to lead this thing, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back
Thank
here
you.
Saturday morning at 10 a.m. One more thing, Katrina. Anything you want to share? Anything the Most High shared laid on your heart? Do you want to share with the audience before we leave?
Just remember who you are. Remember him. You got to put God first. You really have. If you don't believe, I ask that you ask for him to come into your heart so he can begin to show you and demonstrate to you what it is that you should be doing. Always seek him first. You cannot. You may gain traction, but if it's not rooted and grounded in him, it won't stand. It will not stand.
And you heard that, folks. It will not stand. So keep God first. Matthew 6:33 says that seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness. People forget about that. Yeah, it says seek ye
Yeah,
first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, his
he's right.
righteousness, his way of doing things, and
Yeah,
everything else gonna be added unto you, ladies and gentlemen. The Gentile, the people of this world, they go after those things. But he said, you already know we ain't need those things before we act. That's why he told us, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, his way of doing things, and everything else is what? Gonna be added unto
yeah.
you. So remember, He gonna add those things. All you gotta do is seek him first, seek first the kingdom, and everything else gonna be added. So, like I said, I will be back here Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, and if you're on the West Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. We're signing off, ladies and gentlemen. Be blessed. Have a great, great night. Enjoy your time. Follow your dreams. Remember, increase your value. Good night, everybody.
Yes.